Okay, here we go. Freestyle Friday number 9. Now, before you jump the gun on anything, this is supposed to be like a house party type song like 2004, so sing along when you can. That clock keeps ticking.
Welcome, everybody, to the second episode of the LOL podcast. I am your host, SirBlazinGames, with the other three hosts.
Benny.
Yo, I'm Free Chansey.
I'm Graham Buffy.
And this is our first guest. You may know him. He is Tommy C.
Hi, how are you, gentlemen?
Hey, Tommy, so tell us a little bit what you do on YouTube.
What I do on YouTube. I started off with a hockey podcast because I like to hear my own voice. And that continued for years. And then I quit my job because of assorted reasons. And I was able to do it every day.
Wait, what was your previous job?
Well, I was in the Army, but when in order to stay in Germany after my wife divorced me, I had to actually become sort of a civilian and fight that court battle here in Germany because my daughter's a German citizen. So I had to work like a bunch of dumb jobs on posts. So after that was wild because, you know, America's wonderful with healthcare. You got to get your own. I couldn't get healthcare on my own, and then I started seeing another woman, and she said the best way for you to get healthcare is if you quit your job, because then we're covered. And that gave me an incredible amount of time to do YouTube. So I did daily hockey podcasts, basically up until early 2015, where I sort of mixed it up with, I guess, my hero, Howard Stern, and I grew up with Don Imus, and I was really inspired by a gaming podcaster called DJ Wheat, who's a Twitch employee currently. So it gave me an incredible amount of time to just do whatever. And of course, after a year of that, along came Baited.
Yeah. And Tommy, explain the difference. You host your show Shot from the Point, and explain the difference between the hockey and the Dead podcast.
Oh, sure. I really didn't start getting noticed by the hockey community until I did a show called In the Crease with Tommy C, and I did that Monday through Thursday at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. That's not a plug. It's just going to organize my thoughts. I apologize. So
no problem. Thanks for the sponsorship.
But what happened was I did a show with a guy named Joe Cronin, and it was called Monetize This, and it was really more my speed. Not that hockey's not my speed, but I always wanted to do sort of a pop culture is, for lack of a better word, or just like current events and stuff like that. It was called Monetize This. And as much as I love my own channel and much as I love hockey, I really like the freedom to kind of say and do and joke around and act like an asshole for the same reasons I like kind of being in the Army. I like the locker room atmosphere. I like the So what happened is in early in October I decided to make our sort of premiere show, Shot from the Point Live, which is run on Sunday 3 p.m. Eastern, a mix of hockey and sort of social issues or whatever we thought was funny that week. Later on, when the hockey season ended in 2016. I didn't know what to do with myself because I didn't want to do another summer where I didn't broadcast because it really hurt me come the beginning of hockey season. And there's just simply not enough to talk about or joke around about in the hockey world. So I started a show called Shot from the Point Dead. And at that same exact time, I got in a fight with Keemstar via Twitter that ended up on Shot from the Point Live, which ended up to the Baited podcast, to make a long story long.
Yeah, and Tommy, I obviously don't mean to call you out, but I remember you saying some pretty bad things about Keemstar, and you ended up, becoming friends with Keem. Explain how that happened.
Well, I met every one of them at the time. But no, I was, I've been, like I said, my connection with Joe Cronin connects to Tommy NC 2010. Yeah. And Tommy NC was on the receiving end of first, I want to get this out there, a video from a guy named ODS, or Official Duck Studios. And it took some of Tommy's material and stuff, and he roasted him. And it was pretty bad. At the time, I think ODS is about 300,000 subs. And he's one of the many Leafy knockoffs. Leafy, strangely enough, saw the video and wrote in that video, "That's really cool, man." And we were in the 1,000 sub range. My relationship with Cronin had broken. There was no way to fight back against a powerhouse that big. So what I did is I saved the Tommy video, knowing damn well it would bite him in the ass eventually. So my original enemy was ODS. So about 2 or 3 months later, towards the end of the hockey season, Leafy did his video. Or no, I'm sorry. That would have been in February. So Leafy decides to basically steal from ODS's roast and do a roast of Tommy NC 2010. And
I remember this. Listen, I remember this.
Yes, and
really
Leafy
painful.
decides to do a roast of Tommy as well. Well, because Leafy's a beast in the YouTube world, and ODS is, you know, a solid 100 sub guy, which is, you know, you can make a living off of that. And he took a hell of a lot of shit because Tommy, of course, is disabled. He's autistic. And my first reaction was, well, good. Now that Leafy's getting all this heat, let's show everybody who he plagiarized it from. So right. I re-uploaded because ODS tried to go on the down low, right? I saved the video, and I re-uploaded as a mirror. I uploaded as a mirror, but I actually put myself in the video to let you know that, you know, Leafy's getting all the heat, but this is the guy that decided to roast an autistic man, on sort of very in a cold-blooded manner, in my opinion. My friend. And let him get some heat too. He actually came on the site and apologized, sort of. And you know, I got the bulk of the hate, and then the Leafy fans found out about it, and that's pretty much where it ended. And then about like I'd say late May, June, Keemstar runs a story after having a helicopter lesson trip with Leafy himself, and he releases a story about Tommy NC losing subs, losing fans due to some of his content. And it looked to me, and I still believe to this day, that it was a coordinated attack against Tommy NC because of because Leafy took a huge beating from his initial Tommy NC video, and his apology was awful. It was absolutely terrible. It was phony as hell. And
the to
me, it looked like payback. It looked like payback, like, you know, like Keem was helping out a friend. Like, we'll get this guy that fucked you over and they, for some reason, and Keem is somewhat admitted this, so it's not like a secret. They decided, for reasons I'll never understand, that Tommy really wasn't autistic, that this was a giant, like, wrestling-like work, which of course is ridiculous. This really bothered me because I thought the worst we wrote out the worst with Leafy, and I decided to send a Twitter video to Keemstar, which kind of, you know, calling him out on his accusation that Tommy was just a YouTube mastermind and getting subs. And
Tommy's a nice guy. He's a genuine guy.
He responded so nice. Because that's really what it came down to. It wasn't me trying to get famous. It was me trying to deflect hate from Tommy, which I think I was pretty successful at with re-uploading ODS's video. And in fact, I think I was really successful at it. And I told Tommy privately, don't respond, play the good guy, let me take the heat, and I'll take all of Keemstar's fan on myself, and I'll just get a bunch of hate for it, and then everybody kind of forget about you, right? Keem, strangely enough, he responded to me, and then we went back and forth. And I made a quick video. It was something like to the fact, small YouTuber embarrasses the shit out of Keemstar, something like that, right? And then I bitched about it on my Sunday show, which was Shot from the Point Live, which I could do that. Yeah, I could do the Shot from the Point Live, which is on Sunday, which I could do that because that was like a sort of free-form show. There was no definite hockey that was going to be on. I couldn't do it on the crease, really.
Yeah, so has your opinion changed at all about Leafy at all, or still the same?
I'll get to that.
Okay,
because this is a really long story, and if we're going to record it, I know it sounds like me droning on it, but I got to get it all out. So it sounds consistent. So it sounds consistent. I just didn't, you know, like Keem offered me a job, and I'm like, oh yeah, sure, fuck Tommy NC. It really wasn't like that at all. So Keem came on my my show, and we got in a tremendous fight. I watched it. I was really, really nasty to him. And because my motivations at the time were deflecting, like I said, deflecting the hate off of Tommy. Like dislikes and hate and kill yourselves and drink bleach, they have zero effect on me. I'm a grown ass man. It doesn't really matter. But I know it affects. I know it affects my friend very deeply. You know, so as long as Keem's talking to me, he's not concentrating on Tommy, right? So we had this big fight. Keem kept his word and did Tommy's show, and in that show, I saw something. I saw something. Keem kind of admitted that he may have, you know, sort of jumped the gun on his accusation. But he did maintain that Tommy's sub loss was news. And I agree with that. I do agree with that. Shortly afterwards, he followed me on Twitter, which I was actually kind of terrified me. I'm like, holy shit, you know, with all this reputation of destroying YouTubers and looking up their history and all that stuff, like, do I have something to be worried about? And then he approached me with Clown a couple days later, and he said, we want you because you're fire and your anger, and you have really strong opinions and this, that, and the other thing. And I just said, like, I mean, I was scared. I said, Keem, why are you doing this for me? Because I knew what it meant. I knew what I was dealing with. And he said, I want to win. That was his words. And I was sold immediately. Clown had obviously heard my stuff before, and he actually liked it.
Yeah, I remember your interview with Clown.
Which shocked the shit out of me. And because I don't think they don't have sports radio in Europe, because I live in Europe. It's not as common as it is in the United States if you live in Chicago, Los Angeles, or New York. So it just shocked me that Clown sort of liked what I was doing, maybe because it just sounded new to him. And it's not a new format at all. And so I said that. I immediately called Tommy, and I sort of, in a way, asked his permission. You know, I said, like, you know, I know this seems like, you know, I'm kind of selling you out, but it really, if something like this happens, I have a voice. I have a voice to protect you under those circumstances. And I think I've done a pretty good job. Tommy NC hasn't come up once in the news since. I think due to the fact that, you know, I think he understands the YouTube drama scene a little better. And, you know, I can protect this guy because all he wants to do is make videos and not be, and it's tough for somebody who's disabled on YouTube.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
So I watched the kind of reunion cast where Keem, Clown, just call him Oliver because that's what he went on, and it was on the Tommy NC, and Keem was being extremely rude to Tommy NC.
Sure.
No, why would he do that?
I think that's Keem's character. I think it's a character extension.
Dude, you can't. That's like the old satire argument. You can't. I don't know, Tommy. That's
let me ask you this: when isn't he rude?
Sorry. Oh yeah.
When isn't he rude?
Okay, when he gives out money.
Well, it gives out money. That's not necessarily being nice. That's showing as charitable. But I mean, like, when Keem was doing his thing, whether it be on Baited, whether it be on Drama Alert, whether it be on Twitter, when isn't Keem doing a rude, sort of edgy presentation of himself? Right. I can only think of one time. I can only think of one time, actually, Chansey, when he says, "Why am I getting so much hate?" That's one of his famous videos. I don't know that. So I don't know that. Look, was Keem kind of awful to Tommy? No, but I mean, he wanted to spice it up a little bit, and I think that's what works on Baited, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, I don't like. It's a little tough to say Keem's rude. Like, initially, I think Tommy wanted Keem on, and Keem decided to just show up. Yeah, and I don't. I see. I separate that from just like jokes from like what Keem was doing. Look, if Keem's going to make jokes about Tommy's a public figure. But if he's going to sit there and tell people a lie or something that's not true, I don't think he's lying. Actually, it's crazy enough. I think Keem believed it, and tell people that Tommy is just searching for sympathy because he's not really autistic. Well, that's two different things, Chansey. That's way two different things. If he's going to come on and joke, I mean, you look at the history of my show. I mean, I made fun of absolutely everything. Oh, by the way, dirty secret, Joe Cronin and me, we used to make fun of Tommy too. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, you're friends.
Yeah, I've made funny. Yeah. I've made funny too. But I mean, so I don't. And now, if that's the rule, if they're friends, well, Tommy and Keem made up a long time ago. Keem did his show, and he wasn't rude to Tommy. He was rude to one of his guests, who was an asshole, if you ask me. Yeah. So Keem came in and did Keem, to be perfectly honest with you, and that's what Keem does. That's how Keem entertains. You know, you either love it or you hate it or you turn it off.
I have a question for you, Tommy. Sure. And now, I don't want to make this the second-hand Keemstar interview because obviously you're your own person. But
sure, I don't care.
A lot of people hate Keemstar and says that even my friends, I say things like, Keemstar is a big inspiration to me. and then they laugh at me and say, well, he acts like a 12-year-old. What do you think of that?
That he acts like a 12-year-old?
That, like, what do you think of his, like, entertainment, his personality on YouTube and such?
I find Keem's, I mean, there's no secret that I think Keem's funny. It's not really, it's come out recently that I was a huge fan of Keem's prior to meeting him. I think he's like, I mean, he's Gen Y, I'm Gen X, so I think his humor is a little more in line with me, whereas like maybe Leafy's humor is a little more in line with your guys' generation. That's not an insult, that's just a fact.
Listen, I'll let you know that I don't think Leafy's funny at all. I think he's stalling. Yeah. I'm speaking entire video. No, listen. I'm
just being general. You're right, but I don't think Leafy's funny at all too. But I'm just being general. I mean, obviously Leafy's tapping into something. We can't say he isn't.
Yeah,
he's doing a good job.
He's like Rice Gum, you know. He's tapping into the younger audience.
Sure.
I'm young. I honestly, I hate Leafy.
Terrible.
Leafy and Rice Gum are both garbage.
Really? Anyways, back on topic. What were you saying?
I think Rice Gum's better than Leafy. I'll be honest with you.
If
I had to pick between, if I had to go to hell and pick one of the two, I definitely pick Rice Gum.
Okay, yeah. If I had no other choice, then probably Rice Gum. Leafy kind of gives me cancer.
Fucking hilarious joke there, man.
Does he make you want to drink bleach too?
Yeah. Do you want to take the L?
Oh, come on.
It's such a Rice Gum joke.
I really don't like Rice Gum because he only targets kids. Like,
yeah, that's my issue. Yeah, exactly. But I actually think he's funnier. No, and I actually think he's funnier than Leafy. And I don't know if it's because I just don't get it because I'm old. But I don't get Leafy all the time. The only thing I really liked that Leafy ever did was the nice shirt thing. I thought that was really funny and a really good way to deflect sort of some of the cyberbully accusations that he gets. And it is true that Leafy's done a lot less stuff with kids.
I thought that was kind of
that Rice Gum specializes in it, and it is sort of repulsive.
No,
well, here's the thing about Rice Gum,
it's a genre now. It's a genre.
Yeah, it is a genre, and probably because of Rice Gum. So for every reason that the prank genre has gone down the toilet because of FouseyTube, you could say that the commentary genre is in part because at least Leafy's a good editor. Gone down because of Rice Gum. I think you can make that argument.
Well, what would you put Grade A as? Besides
Grade A,
besides
Grade A, I think is one of the most talented people on YouTube, if not the most talented guy on YouTube.
Are you serious?
Yes, yeah, I do. I hate to say it, but it's true. I don't know if he's a good guy, but in fact, I'm pretty sure he's not a good guy. But I do like that. He does format take, which or steal, but format. I mean, look, if we're gonna talk about the same thing and joke about it in different ways, like what are you gonna do? Like he does stuff that famous comedians have covered a bit. If I can make a metaphor, why do you drive in a parkway and park in a driveway? Who knew? And I get that feeling from him that he's taking from other comedians. I'm not that he's actually plagiarizing word for word. Even my recent accusation of I'm sure he was influenced by that.
You stand by that accusation too.
Yeah, I do. I to the point where it wouldn't shock me if he did it. Not that I know it for a fact.
Tommy, listen,
yeah, I do.
I feel like the longer this situation with Grade A goes on, your opinion is slightly like dumbing down. You know.
What do you mean the opinion on him?
Like I feel like honestly, like your opinion is like you used to be like 100% like he's stealing this joke. It's all plagiarism. Now it's like, okay, I agree.
That was Keem. If you listen to the podcasts, it's Keem. I never said that. In fact, when I opened up with my Grade A video, I opened up with the fact that there's no way to be able to tell that this is plagiarism under UK law. I'm certainly not a lawyer. Do I believe it? Do I think it's possible? Yes. And I've been pretty clear and consistent with that all the entire way. Is it illegal? I don't know. I've almost said it in German, strangely enough. I don't know.
Hold on a second.
I have no idea, but it would not shock me for a guy that is doing a video on autocorrect that would go that route. And here's the thing: the first tweet or the first conversation is debatable. But the second one with the does die, well, if you spell does wrong or it might come autocomplete die. That could happen to anybody with an Android phone or that I agree with. It's the context that makes it out of the realm of possibility. Also in Debated Podcast 7, Clown kind of sort of hinted or maybe even threatened subconsciously that he could produce this. Well, it hasn't produced, has it? And I don't think we'll ever see it produced because I think he got that from somewhere else, if I had to guess. Does it reach the level of criminal plagiarism? Oh, shit, I don't fucking know. And I've been very clear about that on my Grade A under A video
listen. Plagiarism, because remember, he's a scholar, he's a teacher. stuff. That if I were to do that in school, I would get kicked out of school.
Horseshit, because he did it. No, and I'll tell you why. I think the guy's nuts. He lied about Keem being a wife beater, and he knew that as long as he was vague about it, so why wouldn't he lie about this? So his character, yeah, he essentially said he was
slander and plagiarism are both punishable by law. You know,
I know, but you got to get sued. Somebody's got to come up with
but the problem is
no. It takes it's an international lawsuit. You have to come up with like $200,000 to $300,000 down for Keem to go and sue Grade in the United Kingdom, where, by the way, they have loser pays in the United Kingdom, and you actually have to pay out his lawsuit. So it's a vague thing. So who knows? Who wants to invest $200,000 into suing? And that's a guess on my part, that number. Into suing Grade A under A,
it's where he might not be. It's not about the money.
It has everything to do with money if you can't afford it. It has absolutely everything to do with money.
Tommy.
It has everything to do with money. You guys are kids.
It's about ruining his career.
That shit costs money. Well, yeah, it's look, if you make it, I think Grade knew that A, Keem wouldn't sue him, and B, that he could manipulate his audience, and C, that he could get away with it, and he did. Listen, got away with it.
Did Grade A purposely try to destroy Keem's channel? Did he do that? Yes, he did.
Admitted it when he in the second video was like, "Wow, look, we can't get rid of Screamstar," because he realized by the second video that it wasn't going to happen. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So he's like, so he promotes Scarce. Scarce had to do something with this.
But he promotes Scarce, but Scarce is a big fucking pushover, so he's easy to deal with.
No, he's not. He has, how many subs does he have? How many subs does he have?
He has 1 million more. So he has 8 million more.
He has like 2.9 now.
He has 2.9. He had just over 1 million when this whole thing started.
Yeah.
So because he got a shout out. What are you talking about?
What do you mean the pushover, dude? He can destroy all of us.
No, he can't. Well, the streak he can't even fucking stay on Team FaZe. How is he going to destroy anybody? I honestly, Chansey, I don't really know what you're talking about, because Grade made it abundantly clear in his video that this was let's go sub Grade, go sub Scarce and fuck Keemstar. So I mean, it's quite literal that he was, and he did it. And what's his two major points? Pedophilia and wife beating. And
both are wrong.
Pedophilia information. Joey fucking Salads. Wow, what a great source for a scholar. You just told me that this man's too smart because if he's a scholar, and he fucking cites Joey Salads, for Christ's sake. Chansey, come on, give me a fucking break. What's the other thing he did? Oh, I'm not done. What's the other thing he did? He said he was a wife beater based on some tweets because they were from Buffalo, New York. By the way, you can set your shit from anywhere, no matter whether you're in London or goddamn Sydney. That's not evidence. So don't give me this fucking shit that there's not enough evidence or something like that. He absolutely knew that he didn't need it. He knew Keem wouldn't put up the money to sue him, and he followed through on it. And by the way, I'm pretty sure in the background he knows damn well who I am now, and he's not very happy with me. So
listen, it's not.
And guess what? Here's the other thing. He's never gonna make a video about me, and he's never gonna fucking call me out. You know why? Because he's fucking wrong, Chansey.
Oh yeah,
you probably win.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. What was he gonna do? Make me famous? I've got 6,000 subs as of an hour ago.
Hey, congratulations!
So he's not gonna come on and make me famous. He's got no argument. That's it. No, Chansey. Yeah, that's all he has. No, that's not true. That he doesn't have. I've given you the tweets that I've compared it to. I've pointed out the stuff that is his own video. All Grade A under A has is no, I didn't.
Listen, no. This man.
Yeah, Chansey. That's it. He does all he has. Only fucking defense Grade has is no, that's not true. No, I didn't.
Listen, I don't
put up no other argument besides that. And most of his fucking fans have said, well, Keem's bad too, which is a red herring. That doesn't mean anything either. You have to provide evidence.
Okay. Listen. All he has to do is say, I'm playing a character and it's satire nowadays, and everyone will give him.
In what sense? What are you talking about?
That's all he has to do.
Nobody's going to forgive Keem if he says that.
No, look. The thing he did probably doesn't raise the the level of legal plagiarism. It simply doesn't. But you just sit there and say your argument is he's a teacher, he knows better. That's not an argument. You know?
Also, if they brought this to court, I don't think judges would find you.
It wouldn't even get to. They wouldn't even get to court.
Yeah.
Listen, it's not about, who's right, who's wrong, or anything.
It is about who's right and wrong.
Listen. It's about destroying his career.
Of
This
course
is
it's
about
right.
payback. It's about destroying grades.
Why the fuck would I do it if it wasn't about who's right and who's wrong? I didn't go in as a neutral figure. I said this guy's wrong. Don't fucking back out of me, Chansey. Stick with me. Come on, you can do it.
Fine.
Wait, I want to ask, what do you guys think of the new terms and services of YouTube? Like,
I love them.
It doesn't matter, to be honest.
Tommy. Put it this way: have you been able to monetize a video ever?
Yes, I did. I have been able to monetize a video because the whole thing was my fault to begin with. By the way, I had an ISIS joke in my description box that I wrote weeks ago, and every time I upload a video or do a broadcast, that is carried over to whatever video I broadcast.
Yeah, the ISIS member.
I simply forgot about it. Yeah, I have a guy that works for me. His name is Mecca Matt Kazar. He's of Syrian descent, and we bust his balls a lot about being Syrian and stuff. So I put, like, when I listed the members of my team on Shot from the Point, I listed him as an ISIS member as a goof. And I'm like, wow, boy, YouTube really's got it out for me. And ISIS is a bad word. A banned word, apparently, on YouTube, at least for monetization purposes. And I just couldn't figure it out. And Benny, of all people, brought it to my attention, but I didn't understand what he's talking about. I checked the description in my channel, not the description in my description box. I don't know if I just looked at his tweet or looked at his message, and I just like, and I looked at it, I was like, no, there's nothing ISIS related, or there's nothing bad in my description. But then Snooza from Boston, Kevin Snooza, he came to me and says, it's in your description box. So Benny on this podcast is the guy that warned me first. And it's not that I didn't take him seriously. It's that I just didn't understand. It was just a miscue and just the sheer amount of tweets and messages I get a day. And I was like, oh, okay, Benny, you're right. And I checked Benny, you're full of shit, Benny. Fucking wake up, will you? You know, but he was right. He was right. He was fucking right, you know? So what am I going to do, you know?
Now, this is what's ruining YouTubers' career, because many of the videos are being demonetized because of this new terms of services, which has been here for a while, but it's just the notification has been updated. It's kind of ridiculous.
My question here is,
sure, go ahead.
a lot of things like this has happened on YouTube with them, you know, screwing over content creators. Say another actual good competitor, not Dailymotion, not VidMe, none of that shit. Like an actual good competitor to YouTube came up. Would you join it?
Oh, with the fingers. Sure. Shot for the Point is not YouTube's, it's mine. You know, my team, my content. Yeah, I would jump. I mean, look, let's be honest. The only reason I'm on YouTube is because it's an exposure thing. You need the big three. You need Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. I have no loyalty to these people because they have no loyalty to free speech. So yeah, sure, I'd jump and in a minute, but where I thought they were targeting me, it looked like they were targeting the word ISIS, which is really funny to me because if you can't use ISIS in a title, you can't criticize it. So does that mean that YouTube doesn't support criticism against ISIS?
That's true.
You can't promote it. You can't promote ISIS, and you can't say anything against it either.
There's a video where it said suicide in the title of the video, and the video was talking about to prevent suicide against suicide, and they still demonetized it.
Yeah, because what I've realized in this whole situation is, and it'd be interesting. My dad says, "Write ISIL." You know, Barack Obama, he says ISIL because he's a big pompous asshole. Yeah, I'm going to say it different than everybody else. To see if that watch. My dad asked me, and I'm actually going to test it. I'm going to make a live event on YouTube and see if ISIL surpasses, which would be funny. But I really wonder about that because it seems that, and I'm not jumping on the Middle Easterners in general. It seems to me that there is a real effort, especially with the shooting in Orlando, to stifle criticism of Arab terrorism. And one of the ways you could do that is actually remove the word ISIS, because if you can't say it, you can't criticize it.
Yeah.
So, but I think what's going on here is they're really trying to moderate the top guys, the DeFrancos of the world, from talking about. I wonder if SJW works too. That'd be interesting. I'm going to be doing testing. You're probably going to see live events. It's just going to say SJW and see if it actually. No,
you should just do SJW member join ISIS to kill or to.
Well, I think that'll pass. I don't think that'll pass the test, Chansey. I mean, I think that's that's not gonna work. But I think they're trying to get people to not talk about the subjects that maybe the Western left is not comfortable with or are not on strong ground.
Which is things obviously the majority of YouTube. Which is
well, things like terrorism and feminism. Terrorism feminism right? and things like Black Lives Matter, they really don't have an argument other than you're a bigot. And when you
like
take
I said,
terrorism,
when you take a
Thunderfoot, when you take an Amazing Atheist, an Undoomed, a guy like that, and they are just kicking fucking ass on the playing field, the intellectual playing field.
Listen, can I say something?
No.
Yeah.
How about that? No. When you get guys like that are kicking ass in the intellectual playing field, one of the ways you can hurt them is you take away the word ISIS, because those guys who are kicking ass cannot criticize it anymore. Go ahead. You're allowed to talk now.
You're on our show. Shut up.
Yeah, I do like Amazing Atheist. I do.
Hey, listen, I think the Amazing Atheist. Did you see his thank you video for subs?
Yes, I did. I was actually really
that was the best thank you video I've ever seen on YouTube history.
Yeah, because he was reflective. He's old. He's getting old like me. He's getting old like me. He's getting reflective.
Okay, that's what minus the banana porn video. That guy's awesome. I
didn't know about that. I didn't know about that till Clown. I did not know about that till Clown.
It's freaking funny. It's hilarious.
So he really stuck a banana in his ass, I guess. Did he?
Oh, jeez.
I have a few Twitter questions. If Tommy, you're willing to answer some of them.
No, I'm not. I'm too big a star for it.
All right. So first question is, why don't you vape?
Why don't I wait?
Vape.
Or what do I weigh?
Vape. You know what vaping is?
Oh, why don't I cry?
Vape.
Vape.
Oh, why don't I vape? I did get that one. Because I'm a heterosexual man.
Oh.
Holy shit.
Actually, I already responded to that tweet. I already responded to that tweet with the
There's no point in vaping.
Go ahead. No, actually, here's the truth. I would. Why not? You know, I guess there's something out there, like people hate people that vape. Like, what do I fucking care? Like what you smoke? I'm like,
well, Tommy, no, listen. You have a baby and you're smoking in the house.
I'm not smoking in the house. Who said I was smoking in the house? You fucking jerk. Who the fuck do you think you are?
Who was smoking in the house then? Who was smoking in the house?
Not me, you fucking jerk. You thought it up in your head. You're worse than grade. No wonder you support him so much, you jerk. Instead of, you know what? You should happen to you. I hope grade A picks you up, so you could have to hear you're sucking grade A's dick all day, like I have to hear. I'm sucking Team Star's dick all day.
Listen. If they're okay, shut up. If there is any YouTube dick that I suck, it's any member of the Hot Wet Soup and any member of Baited besides you.
You don't even mean you don't fucking lying sack of shit. I watched your video. You gave us.
No, listen. I love the Baited podcast and I love Hot Wet, but I think Baited.
You fucking Baited is a god. Oh my god.
This is no better than Baited. Let me talk.
Yeah. Listen. You fucking wait a minute. You voted for them as the better of the two podcasts. You fucking. I watched your dumb video. What are you talking about?
Your dumb video. Shots fired.
Listen. I'll let you know. I like Baited better than Hot Wet Soup, but I appreciate both of those guys.
Well, I do too. Well, even I've never heard Hot Wet Soup, but I really love that. You know what it is? I'm a big fan. I'm actually a really big fan of Zap Talk. Look, I'm not saying they're not entertaining. I really got to sit down and give them a listen. But I think they're a lot like my friends when I was their age. They're all kind of on the same wavelength. And it's just like, I don't know if I want to listen to guys that are on the same
right. That's what that's what I said. I said it's like a bunch of guys having.
By the way, I think Elvis. I haven't heard the other guy, but I have heard Elvis, and I love Zapta. I think his videos are great and they're honest. And I think those guys are great. But I have to sit down and listen to their podcast and give it a chance because
listen. So did you hear about that? That Elvis is going to be our second guest.
It's fucking what a great guy.
I don't know why the fuck he would agree to it, but I'm pretty happy about it.
You know what? Because maybe he's doing what I'm doing. Because I think he knows what it's like to have 10 subs. That's why. If I had to guess,
I'll let you know.
And like I said,
108, but.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've been there too. You know, it took me a year to get 100.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It took me. I started in 2012. It wasn't until almost 2000, late 2013, where I broke 100, and I was even allowed because in those days you couldn't even stream until you broke 100.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So second question from Twitter is from @Fubooks. He asks, boobs or ass?
Jesus.
I'm a boobs guy. Yeah, sure.
Really?
Definitely a boobs guy.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I like titties.
Really?
I've got another question. It's pretty interesting. @AppkEls. APK_else. What would you say to grade if you had the chance?
Ah, fuck off. You bastard. I have nothing to say to grade. I've said everything to grade I ever wanted to say to grade. I don't think grade. Something tells me is if I ran into grade that he wouldn't say much to me and I wouldn't say much to him.
Well, the question is how you find grade.
Grade's never going to say anything to me because all he'll do is make me famous.
Yeah,
that's all he'll do is make me. He's probably worth fucking 5K of subs. You know. And I got to be honest with you. Here's another thing: is like I took more heat criticizing ODS and Leafy than I've ever taken criticizing grade. I've barely taken anything. I've like if you go to it's shocking how little hate that I've taken going after grade because I think as time went like even people that love the Keemstar video series I think every time has gone on they're like wait a minute this guy's a goddamn teacher who does this that's a teacher nobody. You know who does this? YouTubers, because he's really a YouTuber, and I'm glad he's a YouTuber because he doesn't have to ruin some fucking kid's life, fucking being nasty to him and spiteful. That you know, like because teachers always pick that one, and you guys know this better than I do probably, or at least I remember it. Teachers always pick that one fucking kid in class they can't stand. Can you imagine being great that kid that's grade's teacher? Oh, I bet his life would be a living hell, and that's what I meant by I don't think he belongs around kids.
Yeah.
Get away from the chalkboard. Make your fucking stupid YouTube videos. YouTube's perfect for you because YouTube is perfect for spiteful asshole pricks.
Listen, Tommy, I saw your Twitter video, man. I've never seen you so sincere about teaching kids.
Oh, I mean that. I mean every word of that. I don't know how it got tied up into.
And I want him nowhere near my kids.
I don't remember that. I don't want near anybody's kids. I don't want anybody that spiteful.
Yeah.
In a comedic way, you made a I don't know if it was a point, but you said, a lot of people are like, oh, it's just satire, bro, and nobody even knows what satire means half the time.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm not making any kind of fucking satire. Somebody doesn't show up for work. Or his other story is that he got into it with his boss when he was a trainee, and somebody that's spiteful against Matthew Santoro, Keemstar, and then goes the next length, not just to make a video, goes the next step to try to, at least according to my sources, try to get the guy sued. I don't want a guy like that near my children. I don't want a guy like that. That's insane. Imagine if you were on the shit end of the stick of grade A under A, your teacher's view. For lack of a better word. Like, I wouldn't want to be in front of that. I know what it's like to get picked on by a teacher, and I don't want grade. And that's what I mean by that.
I agree with you that definitely somebody that spiteful shouldn't be a teacher, but you did say Matthew Santoro, and I do think that his criticism against Matthew Santoro was 100%.
We 100%. I do agree with his criticism, but don't you think it's a little weird after fuck up Santoro like that to go to the next step and contact somebody over it? That's bizarre. It's bizarre behavior.
Yeah.
Don't you think that somebody who doesn't want to have a relationship with Keemstar anymore would just kind of like, yeah, man, I'll get back to you. Not cut a video saying he's a fucking wife beater. That's what I'm saying about this guy. He goes the extra step. He just doesn't want to lose you as a friend. He wants to hurt you. So basically, here's what grade A is under He's Keemstar's inflated reputation. He does embody that to me.
Yeah.
That's the way I feel, guys. I mean, and it's not like I'm not trying to get a fucking dig in or hurt him or anything like that. And I know, by the way, I'm pretty sure he knows what I said. In fact, I'm about 90% sure he knows what I said. And I'm about 90% sure he knows who I am now. And I'm about 100% sure he'll never mention it. But I'm also 100% sure it pissed him off.
Because, well, Tommy, listen, you have a huge exposure with Baited.
Yes.
Huge.
Good.
Absolutely. Good. And how many subs have you gained since Baited?
When did I well, since the announcement, that's what I'll count it, because that's when it really started going. Was that around June? Yeah, about 4,000. What I just hit 5,000. 4,500. Yeah.
So sure. Tommy, sure. listen. You saw I looked at your reviews, and people are calling you sellouts. They're disliking the video, and those are your original fans. And to see you agree with like Keemstar and everything, dude. So what's your opinion? Like, what do you say to your original fans?
Well, my original fans in bulk didn't do that. There were a handful, and it was a lot of people claiming to be original fans, because a lot of the original fans that I had contact with were iffy on the fence, have completely come over when they saw that I mean what I say and I say what I mean, and I wasn't trying to hurt Tommy.
No, I
if I would have come out and say Keemstar's right, Tommy NC's autistic, then you can call me a sellout all the fuck you want. You can be right, but I didn't do that, did I? So I think like once they realized where I was going with this, that I was going to keep the hockey, that I was going to talk about things that I was going to have this sort of Howard Stern, Don Imus, DJ Wheat type show that had to do with YouTube as well. And they realized that, yeah, and it's like, what's to talk about? It's July, it's August. What hockey is going on? And the thing is, the hockey season starts sooner this year because we have the World Cup of Hockey in September, which
Tommy, stop. I don't give a fuck about hockey. No one likes
hockey. I do.
Nobody likes hockey, Tommy.
My point is I had a lot of downtime so I could concentrate on YouTube. To make it short, you're probably right. I should shut.
Yeah, let me ask you. Sure. Do you think you're going to lose subs when it's hockey season?
That's a good question.
Because listen, Tommy, everybody loves stop.
Because nobody watches my hockey show to begin with, and the same people are coming back for my hockey show. No, I don't.
Tommy, no, people love the other anything not talking about hockey. And listen, I watched In the Crease and of course your other one all the time. And I'll let you know, dude, that you got to ditch the hockey, man, or make two separate channels. You got to do.
Why would I have to do that? Why don't you make two different separate shows?
Because you're misleading the fans.
How am I misleading fans when there's a picture of fucking Wayne Gretzky in a thumbnail, you big dummy?
Yeah. I don't even know who that is.
Yeah. What? So, like, how can it be? There's hockey players. I'm not saying fucking look at Marina Joyce and you come in and I'm talking about goddamn Mark Messier. I mean, that's not what here's what I'm going to do. Yeah, Chansey, you're half right for the wrong reasons as usual. Here's the thing. I'm going to be making a video doing this. Look, I don't do videos. I do live broadcasts. But so it's really a question of getting the schedule out. Now, my plan is if I can support myself.
Enforcing it.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty good about that. I mean, you see my links up, they go up. I'm 3:30 Eastern Standard Time during the week. Bang, bang, bang. You know, I might start at 3:35, but I start. You know when you're getting my stuff from me. So it's really a matter of getting the thumbnails with the Shot from the Point Dead logo, which if you notice, there's rare occasions I do forget, but I put the logos on there and getting YouTube to a place. This is where you come to see live shows, and I think most YouTubers, like when I say YouTubers, I mean people that use YouTube, don't know that there's live entertainment on there.
No, yeah, Tommy, I think what you do is so unique. You know who else does it? You know, Dead on Dave did it, but Dead on Dave moved.
The wrestling, you know who does it? The entire wrestling YouTube community.
Okay, but that's a minuscule community.
Yeah, it's a minuscule community with the guys that are guys that are making a living. You got to remember, we all look at like the YouTube world as Keemstar and Leafy and H3H3. Yeah. There's a whole other like wings of YouTube out there that don't get involved in this stuff that are those guys are making some money too, you know. So it's not totally true. So yeah, and I come from a sports background, so but I'm not going to ditch hockey. There's no reason for it. First of all, Keem told me not to. Because it kind of hurts. If I stop doing hockey, then like, what's my dumb fucking image?
Yeah, I take that. I immediately take that back. Tommy.
Yes, I know, because I'm gonna come over and kick you in the fucking teeth one of these days. yeah, I will. I'll pull that blonde hair right off your head. How about that?
You're in Germany. Shut up, Tommy.
But if I do what, like, but Chansey, but seriously, all that bullshit aside, like if I do one show and I get the word out, then one of them is at 9:30 and the other, or excuse me, 3:30. The other one's at 4:30. What's the fucking big deal? So I don't see why I can't stop doing that. And by the way, I'm thinking about doing commentary videos over video games and other types of stuff too. So why not?
Turn off the phone.
I can't. I really apologize. Like I would get so pissed off about that. I don't know who fucking called me this late. I apologize.
Hey, Tommy, I gotta end you here, man. This is coming to the end of the podcast.
Okay.
Hey, man, thank you so much for stopping by as always.
Thank you. I actually had a good time.
Yeah, man, you're hilarious, dude. I love you.
You're hilarious. You're wrong about everything, but you're still hilarious.
Hey, man, you gotta put me on your show more.
I put you on your show whenever you call, you big dummy. I put you on. I put you on everything. All right, look, no, guys, I really do appreciate it. I had a lot of fun. As you guys can see, I like a little mix up. You know, I don't get offended very easy, but you know, if you challenge me, I'm gonna come back at you. But no, I had a blast, bro. I'm actually really looking forward to hearing this.
Yeah, man. Hey, have a great day, man. Thank you so much.
You too, brother.
All right, guys. Make sure you leave feedback, comments all the time. We read everything, and I guarantee you that. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you check the link on SoundCloud. It'll be on all of our YouTube channels and Twitter pages. You guys want to say anything else?
No.
No, I'm good.
Everybody go subscribe to B1NN1 on YouTube.
Shut up, Betty.
See you guys later.